Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by, man, but our roof is like 3 years old. I seen the hail. It's coming down pretty strong, but again, man, like it's 3 years old, so I think we're good.
Gotcha. Yeah, and about what size hail were you seeing?
I mean, I was at dinner. I got home, seen half golf ball size. Some of my neighbors sent me some videos of it hitting their pool. It looked pretty bad, but I don't know. A lot of them have like 8 to 10-year-old roofs, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay, man. Yeah, a lot of folks we've spoken to have shared the same thing with us. Their roof's a little bit newer. They're under the impression that they're okay, and sometimes that's the case. But can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Cool. Having done this a long time and been on a lot of roofs of all age ranges in this neighborhood, what we found out when folks have us up there with those newer roofs in that 1 to 3 year range is that past a certain diameter, past a certain size of hail, the damage doesn't discriminate between causing significant damage to a newer roof versus an older roof, just like it doesn't discriminate in denting and damaging a 2025 year Tacoma like you got in your driveway or an old beat up '07 Tacoma like mine. It's gonna cause damage all the same, right?
Yeah.
So given that, have us lean the ladder up. We'll inspect, assess any damage, take some photos, share those with you, and then you can decide if it makes sense to keep talking.
Sounds fair. Really quick, now what he's going to do is roll right into the qualification piece. This is what we already touched on, and this is the most vital part of the sale, right here.
Cool. All right, man. Sounds good. And your name?
Cameron.
Cameron. Patrick, again.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. So before I grab my ladder, Cameron, we like to be super upfront and radically transparent with our intentions and process here.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do a full course inspection of the whole exterior, starting on your roof to meticulously identify any storm damage. Given that it's newer, it's mostly going to be from that recent hailstorm. Okay. Not just the roof, but all the ground level exterior items. Invariably, there's going to be stuff like maybe gutters, downspouts, window screens, fencing that might have some damage, cosmetic or otherwise. Okay. Take a ton of photos, usually 200 to 300, and build a photo report for you. That makes sense so far?
Yeah.
But really simply put, what we want to determine today is, does the damage satisfy that insurance criteria where it justifies a claim? It's in your best interest, where a roof replacement is warranted, like a lot of your neighbors. Okay. Right? If that's not the case, we'll let you know, man. Naturally, we wouldn't want to waste your time or ours if there wasn't, a new roof in it for you and for us.
Makes sense.
Right? But having been on a lot of roofs, again, of all ages around here, what we found out is that the damage is pretty consistent between like a 2-year-old roof and a 12-year-old. But we'll let you know. Okay. Now, if there's enough damage that meets that criteria, that's concerning, we'll sit down, we'll show you photos of everything that we're talking about, put that in the context of what insurance is looking for in that process, and how our company, Veteran Brothers, handles all that for you, right? And like I said, like to be very upfront with our intentions. If, like most of your neighbors, there's enough damage to warrant getting insurance involved, that it's concerning. Okay. And so long as everything makes sense and we're a great fit for each other, our next steps today will be to get that claim in with the insurance carrier, submit our photo report, meet with the adjuster, and handle it from there. So, you cool with that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, awesome, man. Good deal. And lastly, when it comes to stuff like this, Cameron, with your home, is there anyone else that should be present for the conversation that you make decisions jointly with, or is it just a you thing?
Typically, it's going to be just me, yeah.
Okay, cool. And is that the case with something like this when it comes to the roof? I mean, you're okay making the call?
Yeah, no, my wife's chilled about all this. I handle it.
Awesome, good deal, man. Yeah, a lot of times they will have some questions or concerns, but good to hear, man. And hey, we found roofing can be pretty personal. A lot of people might have a family friend, someone from their church in
Yeah.
this industry. Do you have anyone like that in your life, or a contractor that you typically rely on for your roofing needs? Or
Yeah, my brother actually he does roofing out in Houston.
okay, cool, man, good deal. Well, having done this a while, my biggest concern would be that, hey, we both sink like an hour into running all over your roof, you meeting with us today, and at the end of the conversation, no matter how good of a fit we are, you say, hey, Patrick, that, everything makes a lot of sense, definitely going to have to run this by my brother. Is that going to be the case here?
Man, my brother is in Houston, so he's a good bit of ways. He's busy. You know, he's got his own operation down there.
Cool.
I'm not
Good
I'm
deal,
not
man.
gonna waste my brother's time having him drive all the way out here.
Yeah,
Do my
right
roof
on.
stuff.
And we don't like to step on any toes, man. We love when our friends and family kick us business.
Perfect.
So, good deal. Well, hey, I'm going to grab some basic information, lean my ladder up, and we'll get to it. Thanks, Cameron.
Cool.
Why would you want to remind him that he's got a family member that does the same business?
Oh,
You want to touch on that?
yeah, great question. Well, if you've ever been in the unenviable situation where at the end of your free consulting session and great presentation, the prospect tells you, hey, that was the greatest free inspection and presentation that I've ever had. I really like you, man. I like the cut of your jib. I love your company. Some great reviews you got, by the way. Now, let me just blindside you with this. My brother-in-law, works for roofing company XYZ. I just remembered that. Oopsies, didn't share it with you, but naturally I'm going to need to run all this by him and probably, give him the business, give him the job now that you've taken the time for free consulting and to bring all this damage to my attention. Appreciate that. Going to give the job to him, but hey, do you have a card? Now that's a little bit more uncommon than got to think about it, got to talk to the wife.
Yep.
But if you've been doing this a long time and you're going up on a lot of roofs, you will get hit with that. So
Yep.
just like every part of our qualification process, this is going to front load that and ensure that we do not run into that.
And another thing that you noticed that he did was, as soon as I did say that I have a brother, okay, that's in Houston, one could immediately assume that that's not going to be an issue. He's in Houston, we're in DFW, and he could have ended it at that, and most guys probably would. But what we like to call doubling down, right? Whether it is a spouse or a family friend, contractor, we always double down on the scenario. So like he said, my biggest fear is we get done running around for an hour. I present this to you, we're meshing well, you like our company, and then at the end of the whole thing, you just tell us that you're going to run it by your brother and more than likely give him the job. Same is true with a wife, right? A guy can be this happens all the time, okay? Guys can be very vague and gals can be very vague with the spouse question. So what ends up happening is, this is a perfect scenario. Hey, other than yourself, is there anybody that's involved in the decision-making process? And the guy might go,
Let's role play it quick.
yeah, for sure. Do you want to be the vague?
Yeah.
Okay,
totally.
perfect.
Are you saying like if they just say no?
Yeah,
and it's unclear whether they mean
Yeah,
okay,
they're being very vague. So this is a prime example. We'll role play it right quick. So Pat, other than yourself, is there anybody that's involved in the decision-making process? Spouse, family, friend?
Yeah, no, I talk everything over with my wife, but it's all right, man. She's not here.
Okay.
So, go right ahead. Lean your ladder up.
Perfect. So Pat, we're going to do that. One simple rule we follow is that if you have a spouse and this is something that you guys typically communicate with each other about, any type of home improvement, whether it be sod, out front in the yard or a roof going up on your home, we like to be able to present that to both of you guys. And what I want to avoid is we get to the end of the conversation, you like our company, everything is going very well, we're a mutual good fit, and you want us to proceed, but you end up telling us, hey, I got to talk to the wife. That won't be the case here, will it?
No, it won't.
Okay, perfect. So to elaborate a little bit on that, okay, doubling down is simply a metric or a way that we ensure that the smoke screen that we're getting thrown at us is quickly, wafted away, and we can see directly what is going on, where is the sale going, and that includes a contractor, a family friend, and a spouse, because if we aren't doubling down, we could very easily just check the box and say, well, I asked for a decision maker. Well, that's simply the case is not always going to be enough. You have to double down to reassure not only yourself, but your prospect that you guys are on the same page and you're going to get the job done.
100%. That ambiguity and vagueness when it comes to, this is most common with decision makers, is often intentional, and maybe they're not consciously doing it intentionally, but a prospect will be vague and avoid being tied down to a concise response on the decision maker front because it leaves them room. It leaves them space to, sometimes like weasel out.
Yep.
And some prospects will be intentionally vague. Of course we make all decisions together. You're married, right? Mm-hmm. But no, I'm good, man. She doesn't need to be here, right? That's a really common one. Yeah, of course we make all decisions together. She doesn't need to be here though. And if you're smoking that hopium, you might hear that, and you take the most charitable, delusional interpretation of that, and they make decisions together, but she doesn't need to be here. Oh, perfect, money, that's a claim. No. Then you have to double down, and that format of just being upfront, like, hey, this is my biggest concern.
Yep.
That won't be the case here, will it? Let the prospects sell you. Let the prospect explain to you why that won't be the case here, and let them verbalize in clear terms how we're not going to run into that situation. Or if we might, perfect. You save their time. You save your time. So that's an integral part of our qualifying process.
As you could probably tell, their key phrase is that won't be the case here, will it? You're getting a verbal confirmation, a yes, or quite frankly a no too, and that's okay. But you're getting a yes in this case. No, that won't be the case here. You have my word, kind of thing. That's what they are saying whenever they tell you that is not going to be the case. So then, whenever you do get to that into that conversation, even if there's an 80% chance that they were going to tell you that they need to still run it by the wife, now you've already gotten a verbal commitment, right, from this individual that they are not going to do that to you. So at the end of it, you can assure yourself that everything's going to be okay. Your prospect's on the same page as you, and you with them.
Hey, hit me with a statement of intent and next steps today.
Yep. So really quick, man, we like to be radically transparent in what it is we're here to do. We're going to be taking a ton of photos, building you a photo report, probably close to 120 to 200 photos, both on the roof and ground level, looking through everything through the same lens as the carrier. If we see that you meet that minimum criteria, we're going to obviously build that report that reflects that, show that to you. On the other side of that, we might get up there and see that there's not a whole lot of damage. But if you're anything like your neighbors, you're probably going to be in the latter camp.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So with that being said, again, not to reiterate myself, we like to be radically transparent. If you do meet that minimum criteria, all of the photos are matching up exactly what insurance needs to see to get them out here. Our next steps today is going to be to get that claim in with the insurance company, submit our photo report to them, and then ultimately meet with that adjuster when the time comes. Is that well with you?
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Really quick, Patrick, I want to just, make sure that we're not wasting your time or ours, okay? We're not the guys that are going to come out here, to give you a free inspection, tell you that you're not going to have to pay anything out of pocket, and run around on your roof for an hour and hop down and tell you, hey, you got damage, give me a call. Okay. This is a little bit different. Okay.
I guess so.
So what we're going to be doing, like I said already, is we're going to see if you meet that minimum criteria. If you do, okay, when I get down off the ladder, we'll sit down. I'm going to show you everything, photographs, the report, and then give you my professional recommendation. And the intention with this meeting and why we're here is that at the end of that, if we're seeing eye to eye, our next steps at the end of the meeting are going to be able to submit that photo report to the company, to the insurance company, and then obviously get the claim in and meet with that adjuster. Is that well with you?
I mean, of course, I'm going to need to get a couple quotes and another opinion. But, you guys can do the inspection and send the photos, whatever. If I need to, I can file the claim.
Okay.
Sound
so,
good?
yeah, really quick, I'll just, I'll leave you with one thing. And by the way, Pat, we're totally okay with no's. Okay. So if our process isn't matching with yours, go ahead and tell me no, and then we can part as friends. That's totally fine. But we're not here to give you quotes. We're not here to, run around on the ladder and then put the claim in your hands to file, right? Our job as a turnkey insurance restoration contractor is to make sure that whenever we see that damage, we identify it, we bring you up to speed, figure out if we're going to be a mutual good fit, and then ultimately put that claim in with the carrier. That's just what it is we're here to do today.
You're not going to give me an estimate?
No, that's for the guys
Your
that
estimate?
want to run by here in unmarked vehicles and tell you that they can waive your deductible. Here's your estimate and get you the lowest payout possible. Okay, we're an insurance restoration contractor. Our job is to make sure we maximize the claim, perform all work prescribed by the carrier, and then ultimately leave you with a great product at the end of the day. So
That sounds good, man. But I don't think so today. Do you have a card?
no, we don't carry cards on us, man. What I would say is this, Pat, I've enjoyed talking with you. Right now, I've been doing this a long time, okay? And I can tell pretty quick if, it's either not really a good time or we're just not seeing eye to eye. So based on what I've heard so far in this scenario, in this case, I don't think we're going to be a good fit for you.
Okay.
Is that well with you?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Have a good day.
You too, dude.
He could have been up on his roof.
I know.
He could have got you on his roof.
I could have done the best inspection. I could have had like the best photo report and had probably the most squared away presentation anybody's ever seen in their life. But instead, I wasted 10 minutes and not an hour. So I'm happy, homeowner's happy, and I'm going on to the next qualified prospect.